Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be showing you how you can create workflows or automations. So along the bottom, along the side here, you've got automations. Now, if we click on here, this is basically where if ever you want something to happen, say, for example, you want to automatically send a contract, or you want to automatically send an invoice, or you want to automatically send an email or an SMS, or anything that you want to happen by automation, you're going to come to this tab here, automation, and this is where we have our workflows. So whenever you hear me speak about you need to create a workflow like this is what you're going to create. So you can come up here and click create workflow, and you've got two options here. You can select a recipe or start from scratch. So if we're going to do select a recipe, these are actually pre-made workflows that have a lot of automations in them. So for example, it might be something like an email drip sequence. So as soon as someone opts into something, they get dripped emails over the course of 5 days. It may be a Facebook comment automation. So maybe when someone comments on your Facebook page or Facebook post, you want to automatically send them a DM reply. Maybe FAQ also reply. So someone has asked a question and you want to automatically send them these replies. Webinar registration confirmations, there's loads of things here. Fast 5 is another really cool one, where as soon as someone opts in, they're going to get an email, an SMS, they're going to get a voicemail, someone's going to call them. So those are all kind of things that are already built out. And also appointment bookings and things like that. So I'm just going to show you what one of these, there's also like birthday template as well. So for example, if someone was to book on one of your calendars, for example, you might go to this one here, which is appointment confirmation and reminder. So if we select this one, I'll just show you what this looks like. And you'll see that once you select the recipe, the whole thing is built out for you instantly. So in a workflow, you've got two different aspects. You've got a trigger and you've got an action. Now, the trigger is the thing that is going to kickstart this whole workflow. So you might say the trigger is when someone fills out this form, I want these actions to happen. Or when someone books this appointment, I want these things to happen. Or when someone purchases this product, I want these things to happen. So with every workflow, you will have a trigger where you're saying, I want this workflow to fire off when this thing happens. So the trigger here in this appointment confirmation and reminder, if we click on here, you can see the appointment status. When an appointment has been booked and it's confirmed, so someone comes back and says it's confirmed, then all of these things are going to happen. So they're going to get an email notification saying, congratulations, your appointment has been booked. Anytime you see these things here with these little brackets in them, these are called custom fields. And what that does, I'll do another video on custom fields, but what this basically does is it will automatically update the appointment start date based on the appointment that they booked. And it will automatically put in the time based on the appointment they booked and the time zone based on the appointment they booked. So also with contact first name, this is one that you're going to use quite a lot. It will automatically draw in the first name of that contact based on whoever it is that's booked that appointment. Now, these custom values here are just up here. So if you click on here, if ever you want to find a custom value for, a contact name or something, or an email address or anything, you can just come and find those there. But as I said, I'll do a whole nother training on custom values. So this particular recipe has said when this appointment is booked, they're going to get an email. Then it's going to wait 24 hours before the appointment. So you can set all of that in there. Then it's going to give them a 24-hour reminder. Again, you can read this here. It's got the Zoom link and everything like that, which you can put in. You can edit any of these directly in here. Then it's going to wait an hour before, 5 minutes before, and all of that. So that is a recipe. What you can do is, if you're happy with that, you just want to click publish and then click save. And that means that's going to be live. If it's not selected as publish, then this won't trigger. It means that when that appointment is booked, none of this stuff will happen because the workflow hasn't been published. So always make sure that you publish and save it if you're happy to go forward with it. Now, what I want to show you now is I actually want to show you how you can build one from scratch. So let's go to create workflow, start from scratch. And we're going to call this, we're going to say, what shall we do this as? We can do this as form is submitted. Say it's like a lead magnet opt-in form, for example. And then we're going to say send emails and SMS. Okay, so that's the name of our thingy. I'm going to click save. I always click save after basically everything. So for this particular trigger, I want to say that the trigger is when a form is submitted. Once this form is submitted, I want an action to happen after that. So we can click add new trigger, and you can see here there is a whole huge list of triggers that you could have. So it could be that there's a birthday reminder. It could be when a new contact has been created. It could be when someone has got a new tag. So if someone gets a tag saying purchased, for example, then all of these things could happen. It could be that a task has been completed, a form that's been submitted, as we're going to use here. We've got other ones for a customer replied. So if someone, you know, replies on a Facebook post or an Instagram post or something like that, lots of different things here. When someone clicks a link, a specific link, I'll show you, I'll do another video on trigger links, but that's what that is. There's loads of things. If someone books an appointment, if the opportunity is updated, so that the pipeline, again, I'll do a video on pipelines, but if the stage of a pipeline is updated, maybe they've moved from awaiting payment stage to paid, then something's going to happen. Maybe you've got a new affiliate. Maybe a product access has been granted. So someone's been given access to your course. Maybe someone's purchased something. Maybe you've received an invoice payment, a subscription, band cart, loads of things. Facebook comment on a post, Instagram comment on a post, lots of things. So for here, we're just going to do our form submitted. So we're going to click form submitted. Then we're going to go down to filters, and this is where we can get really specific on what that form is. So we are going to say the form is, let's say, for example, it's could be any of these, this one. So when someone registers for my masterclass, I'm going to save trigger down here. This is going to happen, and you can name it as well. So you can say evergreen masterclass, just so that when you're looking as like an overview, you can really easily see what that is. Maybe you want to have some actions that happen when like 3 different forms are submitted. So you can add another trigger. You could add another form, and maybe this time the form is going to be, I don't know, this one, and then you click save. It might be that you also want to do it when a tag is added, and the tag is, I don't know, any of these ones here, or it might just be something like a new one, evergreen masterclass, for example. Click that one and click save. So we've set our triggers. We've said when any of these things happen, I want the following actions to happen. So click this plus button here, and then we say when that form is submitted, I want to add a tag, and that tag is going to say, maybe it's going to say registered. This just kind of, you know, helps you stay on track of where people are at in certain stages. Then we can click plus here, and maybe now we want to send them an email. So we can send them an email. The email is going to come from me. The email it's going to come from is this one. The subject is going to be, hello, you're registered. Not a great subject line, but you get the gist. Your subject, you're registered. And then you can come in here and you can type in, hey, come up to custom values, put in contact, first name. So it's going to say, hey, whatever that person's first name is that registered. Congrats, you're registered for my masterclass this Tuesday. Here is the link. And then you can put in the link down here. So for example, if you wanted to put in a link, maybe you want to put in, if I come over here, I don't know, let's just say I wanted to put in this link. We can come back. I could highlight that come up here to this add link section here, paste that in there, and I want that link to open in a new window, and click save, and they're going to get that link. If I want to test this email, I can just come down here, I just want to test this with my own personal email, send test email, and then I can see how that looks when it comes out. Click save, and I might say, cool, I'm happy with that. Then I want to wait 2 days, maybe, or maybe a day, or maybe an hour, maybe 5 days. So I'm just going to come up here, put another action in, type in wait. And here you've got time delay. So I want to wait for 5 hours. And then I would just click save. Or maybe I want to say, I want to wait for a specific time. So I want to wait before this time. So I might say, okay, hold on, let's just come back here. So say, for example, I wanted to set the date of the webinar. If I come up here to this plus, I'm going to type in event start date, and maybe my webinar starts a specific date and time. It's going to start on the 8th of May at 11 a.m. So that's set there. Then here, when we come to wait, I might say, I want to wait until event appointment date. I want to wait until 2 hours before, and then click save. Or maybe you might want to say that you want to wait. I'll show you another wait example. You might say, if we go to advanced window, you might say, I want to wait until the next Monday at an exact time. I want to wait until the next Monday that comes around after they registered until 11:15 a.m., for example, and then click save. So there's lots of different things you can do there. If ever you want to delete a step, you can click these 3 dots here, click delete, and then delete action. If you want to delete a few steps, say if this was all wrong, you could just click these 3 dots here, click delete all actions from here, and it's going to delete that one and that one and that one. So that is my wait. I then want to send an SMS. So I might come up here, SMS. I can type in, hey, are you coming? Again, I can add in the custom values if I want. So I could come up here, say, hey, blah, 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 are you coming? That's gone for like 2 hours just before. Click save. So that's going to send them an SMS. I could even send them a voicemail if you want. This is pretty cool. So send voicemail. And then I can actually upload an audio file there. So how I've done this before is I've just recorded it on my phone, and I've just said, hey, I'm just checking in to see if you're still coming for the webinar that's happening tonight. Can't wait to see you there. I'm really excited to cover blah, 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 blah. Just reply with a yes if you're coming. Can't wait to see you there. And I will upload that file in there, and then it's going to call their phone, and it's going to leave that voicemail on their phone. So that's another cool thing that we can do with madeformore.ai. And then there's loads of stuff here. You can send any of these things. So obviously, this isn't going to be relevant to this webinar registration, but you could even send an invoice. You can come in here, you can send an invoice. It's going to come from Carly. My invoice template, I don't actually have any invoice templates in here, but if you had an invoice template that you created, you can put it in here, and you can automatically send that invoice at a specific time. You could even send a contract. If someone's purchased, I can come to send documents and contracts. It's coming from me. If someone's joined my accelerator, I can automatically send them that contract, and that's going to go out at that specific time. So there's loads of things you can do. And then if, for example, someone has joined your course and you want to give them access to your course, you come into the plus. I might say course grant offer, and I want to grant them the access to my podcast course, and then click save. And when that happens, they're automatically going to get an email with their login details. So if you do sell a course, for example, let's just start again. Let's just delete all of these. Delete all actions from here. Let's delete this trigger. Let's delete this trigger. And let's delete this trigger. Let's just start again. Let's say someone's purchased a course from you. So we're going to add new trigger. I'm going to say payment received. So we are saying this trigger is that when a payment is received is for, let's say, for example, it's my launch your podcast. When this product is, this payment is received, the product price is this one here. The payment status is success. So you can do it also if a payment fails. We're saying payment status is successful. Click save trigger. We're going to come here. We're going to give access to the course. Launch your podcast. They're automatically going to get their login email. And I also want to give them access to my community, the free community that goes with it. They're going to get that. And then maybe they're going to get a tag as well that says purchased. And then maybe I'm going to send them an email saying congrats. Thanks for joining XYZ course. You have been emailed blah, 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 anything that you want to say there. So can you see now that you can just start to build up lots of different actions? Now, there's one other thing that I want to show you, which is a really cool feature. And I'm actually going to show it to you. Where am I going to show you it? I'm going to show you it. This is actually one of my own workflows when someone joins my software, for example. So if we come into here, new signups, sign up and purchase. This is what happens behind the scenes when someone joins my software. It's going to look really overwhelming. This is what happens. Look at all of these steps, but I'm going to show you exactly what happens. So when a sale happens on any of these pages, so we can see here, if we go to this one, for example, the trigger is an order form submission. I've called it my tier 1 plan. So if someone pays yearly, my tier 1 plan, the funnel it's in is my website. The page it's on is my tier 1 checkout. The product is my annual payment plan, and the submission type is a sale. Once they've done all of those things, all of these things are going to happen. They're going to be removed from any other promotional email sequences that I have, for example. They are going to get a tag which says purchased. It's going to be added onto the system so that I know that they've now purchased. They're going to get access to my group community. They are going to be updated in my pipeline so that I can see that that person has now become a member. And then we have this thing here, which is condition. So if you were going to add this in, I'll show you where this is. We come in here and scroll down. It's this one here, if else. And basically what happens here is you can say, if this happens, I want this to happen. If this happens, I want this to happen. So this is if, depending on what, for example, with me, depending on what plan they're on, they get access to different things. So I don't want everyone that purchases a software plan from me to get absolutely everything. For example, the people on the accelerator plan, they get access to more stuff. They get more courses. They get more, membership access. They get more stuff. So what we're basically saying here with this condition is you're saying, if this happens, I want these actions to happen. So when we come into condition here, you can see I've got this branch here, which is tier 1 monthly. This branch, tier 2 monthly, tier 3 monthly, tier 1 yearly, tier 2 yearly. Maybe they're going to join my masterclass offer. This is my accelerator annual. Now, you may not have all of these different options, but it may be that you have something extra that you give someone when they purchase a payment plan. when they pay in full. Maybe if they pay in full, they get an extra course. And if they do the payment plan, then they don't get that course. So what happens is you set these branches here, and then depending on each branch, you can then add specific actions for each one, for example. So my year 2 yearly plan, they get a tag which says purchase tier 2. I get an internal notification, so it lets me know. I also get an SMS saying, congratulations, you got a new sign up. They move to a different stage in my pipeline. They get access to my courses, and then they're going to get added to a specific workflow where they get access to my live coaching sessions. And then at the end of this, can you see this line here? Can you see that at the end of all of these things, we've got go to. The action is called go to. And it says go to here. Because these steps here, this welcome email, this welcome SMS, you know, these workflows that are being added to, this is for everyone. Everyone gets these things. So at the bottom of all of these is going to go to here. Now you may decide that, for example, at the end of this, you might then want to add them onto another workflow that you've got. You then want to add them somewhere else. You might go, click this plus sign, type in go to, and then you want to move them somewhere else. So you can go there, you can select where you want to go to, or let me just come out of that. Okay, I don't want to delete that go to just so it doesn't mess up all of my stuff. Or you might say, I want to add them to a workflow. So we're going to click that plus, type in workflow, add to workflow, and we can select where we want to send them now. Maybe we've got another workflow, which is to remind them about a webinar thing that we've got going on or something like that. So this is the best thing to do with this, is really just have a play around and see, you know, what is in the actions list, what kind of things you can add in, what's in the trigger list. But you can see that it can start to get really, really sophisticated, and really it's so cool how you can start to build this stuff out. So once you've done that, you're going to click save. Obviously make sure that you're going to click publish if you're happy with everything that's gone in there. But that's a whistle stop tour of the workflows. But as I said, I'm going to be showing you like specific sequences that you can build out. But as a kind of overview of workflows, this is how that works. And yeah, workflows and automations is, I spend most of my time in here, to be honest. Anything that I want to happen, if I want to automatically send a contract, want to automatically send an invoice, want to automatically update a pipeline step, that all happens in here. And you can see if we go into my ones, I've got loads. I've literally got like 10 pages of them, all to do with invoicing and nurture campaigns and abandoned cart. Maybe someone, you know, was going to pay and then they didn't pay. Again, I'll do another video on that, but there's loads of stuff you can do here. And that just kind of gives you a little brief overview of how that works.